I told you the series wasn't over yet. The Warriors coming through with a massive victory in Game 3 back in San Francisco at the Chase Center. Final score 114-97. We're going to talk about that, get to some of the latest Warriors news and rumors items. But before we start, we're closing in on a massive milestone here on the channel of 50,000 subscribers. We're 294 people away, and let's hope that this Warriors playoff run is able to be elongated, right? They're able to go on a deep run to defend their NBA championship. And in the meantime, let's pick up subscribers during this run. Warriors coverage year-round, multiple videos per week, draft content, free agency content, trade deadline content. We literally do it all. It's Golden State Warriors today. I'm Chase Sr. So the Warriors really desperately needed a win in Game 3. Draymond Green was suspended. Gary Payton II out because of an illness, and they get that massive victory. Of course, paced once again by Steph Curry, who went in for 36 points, 6 boards, 3 dimes. Andrew Wiggins was really good. I thought he was the second best player on the Warriors last night, just like he was in the NBA Finals last year against the Celtics. He chimes in with 27 and 3. Jordan Poole was 4 of 13 from the deck. He got the start in place of Draymond Green as the Warriors had to switch around that starting 5. He did tally 16 points, and the Warriors once again could not stop De'Aaron Fox. 26 for him, but other than that, Domantas Sabonis 15 and 16. Harrison Barnes, the former Warrior, was 17. The big story here, somehow, someway, the Warriors are really good defensively at home. They are awful, atrocious defensively on the road, but they were good when they needed to be, holding the Kings below 100 points. And I said the other day, no need to panic. This series is not over. It's no question a difficult matchup for the Golden State Warriors. Why is that? Well, a couple of reasons. The Kings are young, they're athletic, they're spry, they're fast. They do a good job of defending the perimeter. They don't do a good job, though, of protecting the paint and protecting the rim, and that was one of the adjustments that I needed the Warriors to make last night. I thought they did. Obviously, it helps when Steph goes off for nearly 40 points, but I wanted to see, going up against the defending NBA champions, how a young Sacramento Kings team was going to fare on the road. Playing in Sacramento, it's one of the more raucous atmospheres in the NBA. This is an organization and a fan base that had been waiting 2 decades to root on a team in the NBA playoffs. They love to light the beam there in Sacramento. It gets crazy inside that arena, but the Warriors are so seasoned. They are veteran-laden. They've gone on this dynasty for nearly a damn decade. How could the Kings respond on the road in a hostile environment as the road team? And last night, you saw they got a little bit flustered. I think this series is going to be locked up at 2-2, heading back to Sacramento for Game 5. If you think the Warriors can come back and win this series, I need you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. I think the Dubs can come back because they have the experience edge. Speaking of the aforementioned Steph Curry, huge game for him as he got the crowd jumping. 36 points, 3 dimes, 6 rebounds, 6 of 12 from downtown, and Steph Curry showed once again why he is the best point guard of all time. And honestly, he's making this a debate that's no longer a debate. He's turning this into a conversation in which Steph Curry is by far and away the best point guard of all time. He's already changed the way that the game of basketball is played, right? And the ability to put the team on his back in the most critical of moments really, really is impressive. The Warriors are without Draymond. They're without GP2. Steph Curry had to play like an MVP, and he was the MVP last night and continues to show up, show out when the Warriors need it the most. You know what's my MVP when it comes to fantasy? It's Underdog Fantasy, a brand new sponsor that we're really excited to bring on board here at Chat Sports. And you can see for yourself at chatsports.com/underdog warriors, and make sure you use that promo code ChatGSW. Doesn't matter where you live, that link in that promo code will work out for you. Warriors fans, don't miss out on the excitement of playing fantasy sports with Underdog Fantasy, the easiest and fastest growing fantasy app in the entire industry. You can build a pick'em entry by choosing whether your favorite players will have a higher or lower stat total in this week's game. and you could win up to 20 times your money in a single night. So sign up today using our link and our promo code and get your first deposit doubled up to $100. You can simply find them on the App Store, and remember to use our promo code ChatGSW. Now, let's take a look at some of my picks here. I went higher and lower for tonight, Friday night's game between the Boston Celtics and the Atlanta Hawks, as well as the New York Knicks and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Celtics-Hawks series shifts back to Atlanta, whereas the Cavs-Knicks series shifts back to Madison Square Garden. For Jason Tatum, 29.5 points, I'm going lower. But I think Jaylen Brown is going to have a big game 3. I think that he goes higher, 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Darius Garland went off in Cleveland in game 2. I think this is a steal. 22.5 points, I'm going higher. Make sure you use the promo code ChatGSW, 100% match. Now let's shift gears to Andrew Wiggins and what he was able to do in Game 3. My goodness, it's so great to see him back on the floor for Golden State. 20 points, 7 rebounds, high-level defense, 3 assists, 3 of 6 from 3. He's starting to get a little bit more comfortable. He's starting to get a little bit more acclimated. And let's look at this from the bird's eye view perspective, right? I've continued to say that Wiggins' value is so critical to Golden State's success. But he hadn't played basketball in a couple of months, right? And they were welcoming Andrew Wiggins back into the lineup, Gary Payton back into the lineup. Both those players haven't played all that much basketball with this team. So in games 1 and 2, it was a feeling out process. You come back home, friendly confines, you start to get a little bit more comfortable, and this is the Warriors team that we're more accustomed to seeing. Speaking of our subscribers, as we alluded to earlier, trying to get to 50,000, right? And we're closing in on the Los Angeles Lakers report. I think that Dub Nation can beat Laker Nation, but it's up to you to decide that. I promise you, we will not disappoint you with our coverage, and hopefully if this playoff run continues, playoff watch parties on the horizon. 49,706 subscribers on Warriors today. Lakers report 49,785. People were telling me it was impossible to take down the Lakers report. I don't think it is. I think we're going to beat them. Now, let's think about Game 4 here as we shift the talking points. Think about how crazy Game 4 is going to be at the Chase Center in San Francisco. Draymond Green comes back after the Warriors organization was livid about that suspension, and I'm sure Draymond Green really motivated by having to set out the Game 3 victory. GP2. Hopefully he comes back from his illness. And right now, this Warriors team, coming off an NBA championship, they've gone on this dynastic run, winning 4 championships, being a massive player in the course and the annals of NBA history over the last decade. They can smell blood. They're the experienced veteran team going up against the young and inexperienced team that outside of Harrison Barnes doesn't have a lot of NBA playoff experience. Now this series is locked up at 2-1, trying to get it to 2-2, and this Warriors team, they're feasting, right, over the thought, salivating over the idea of tying this series up at 2-2, and I think it's going to happen because I don't think this Kings team is ready for the smoke that we will see from the Chase Center in San Francisco for Game 4. Klay Thompson was also really solid against the Kings. Hit a couple of timely three-pointers. Now, he was 5 of 15 from the floor, 13 points, 5 rebounds, but I think his defensive prowess a little bit underrated in this game for Golden State against Sacramento. Want to round out the show with this. So this report coming from Chris Broussard as we glance over the latest Warriors rumors here. Chris Broussard reported that the young players on the Warriors have not been happy with their roles. He said, quote, I was talking to somebody earlier who's in the know who said that some of their players are pouting. The young boys, Jonathan Kuminga, Dante DiVincenzo, Jordan Poole, because they're not getting minutes. Now, this report is somewhat interesting, right? If you think about Jonathan Kuminga, that makes a lot of sense. Jordan Poole's been banged up. He hasn't played well. So if he's pouting over not getting minutes, he should play a little bit better, right? And he got to start last night in place of Draymond Green. For Dante DiVincenzo, this doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Because Dante DiVincenzo is getting plenty of minutes. That buzzer beater, by the way, that he had last night was a really, really big play, even though he did get away with a little bit of a double dribble. Anyway, now's not the time to be complaining about minutes. These young cats are complaining about not getting run, not getting tick in the course of a playoff series. You understand that playoff rotations are a little bit different. I'm not buying into this, but it is certainly interesting because I do think regardless of what happens in the NBA playoffs, you might lose Draymond Green. You could trade away Jonathan Kuminga. I don't think the Warriors are going to trade away an Andrew Wiggins because they really value him. Moses Moody could be a player who's moved. Dante DiVincenzo going to be a free agent. Some changes could be on the way for the Dubs. Now, make sure you give me a follow on Twitter because Elon Musk did take my blue check mark away. I'm okay. Thank you for asking. But I want to interact with y'all on social media. I'm on Twitter at Chase_Senior, Instagram at Chase_Senior. Appreciate y'all for watching. Keep an eye out for a mailbag coming out this weekend. And, of course, we'll continue to react to this Warriors-Kings playoff series.